I believe it's our...
Okay, we are starting to record. Okay, everybody.
All right, so let's just go into this time of meditation, and I ask you to please join me in consciousness together. And I ask you to just get in a comfortable place for you, whatever that may be. And just try and center yourself and just focus on right here, right now, and let the busyness of the day just float away. This is your time, a time that you have come here to be nourished, to be refreshed, and to connect with people. It's a very positive time for you. So in that consciousness, let us connect together in this circle of love and faith together. So let's breathe in. Just breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. And just relax, relax, relax. Relax, relax, relax. And know that right here, right now, you're in a very safe place. A place of wonder, a place of positive energy. And just focus right now on your body. And just feel how wonderful all of your senses really are. Maybe you're aware of the feeling of your body against the chair or wherever you are right now. And just kind of, in a safe kind of manner, just feel yourself just sinking into that and just becoming one right here, right now. And just listen to my voice. With every sound of my voice, you become deeper, deeper relaxed, deeper relaxed. And you can just connect to your higher self. And as we connect to our higher self, we can know that we are powerful beyond measure. And just ask right now, if you will, to just connect to your 12 powers. Just send that intention out there and ask, just give me a little awareness of my 12 powers. So as we move through them, you may feel a sense of them, an awareness in your body. So we start out with faith and that wonderful dark blue faculty, many times called royal blue. And there's a reason for that. It's very wonderful. So in your mind, just say to yourself, I am faith. I have faith. I emanate faith. Just feel that power moving all through you. And if you like, tune into that color of royal blue. Do that for a minute. And know that you can do that anytime, anywhere. Tune into that faith faculty that you have. It's yours. And now let's move on to strength. And strength, that inner strength, that divine strength that we all have. And that color is light green. So tune into that faculty of strength. Imagine that light green glowing in you. Do that for me now. And in your mind, say to yourself, I am strength. I am strength. And now we move on to wisdom. That wonderful wisdom faculty that we all have. It is a tremendous power that we have. And you think of wisdom as yellow, just feel that yellow wisdom power that is within you. Touch in with that yellow. What does it feel like? Just feel the yellow of wisdom. And know that you can tap into that at any time. And just say to yourself, I am wisdom. Yes, and we know that wisdom is within you. Wisdom is all around you by the people that you surround yourself with. And you can call on that inner wisdom at any time. Because we are a spark of the divine wisdom, we have that within us. We're very, very wise. Feel that right now. And now tap into that love faculty that is you, that is yours. You are divine love. And that wonderful color for that love faculty is pink. So touch into that pink. Just feel it. Let it wash over you, the pink of the love power. And say to yourself, I am love. I am loved right here and right now. Love is a power that I claim for myself. And you might feel that in your chest and your heart chakra. Love is there for you, and you can beam it out at any time. I am love. Then we move on to the power faculty. It's purple, wonderful purple colors of power. And just feel that power. You are powerful beyond measure. Know that, feel that. And say to yourself, I am power. And know that you can speak your power from the throat area. Speak your power. Yes, every day in every way, you are power. Power that's used for good. Now we'll move on to that wonderful faculty of imagination. Imagination. And that's a beautiful light blue color. Just feel that kind of emanate all through you. Imagination. And you can use the power of imagination today, tomorrow, anytime you want. And you can amp it up. All you need to do is call on that power that you have, we all have, the power of imagination. And say to yourself, I am imagination. I am imagination. Claim it every day, every hour. I am imagination. And now the power of understanding, that wonderful golden power, that faculty of understanding. Just feel it right now. Feel the golden power of understanding that is yours. And say to yourself, I am the power of understanding. And now we move on to will. Silver, glistening, glistening power that is all yours. And just say to yourself, I am amazing. I am amazing with my will faculty. And now we move on to order. That wonderful deep green, just feel it wash over you. And say, I am order, and everything is in order in my life. And now we move on to zeal, and feel the wonderful orangeness of zeal move through your body. Orange, vibrant orange in zeal. And you can summon that faculty at any time you want. Zeal, 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 zeal just zips through all of us. And say, I am zeal in your mind. I am zeal. And now the power of release. Release in amber color, russet color. The power of release. It's available anytime we want it. We can release anything that does not serve us anymore. And right here, right now, as we gather in consciousness, I ask you to say in your mind, I have the power of release. I am release. And if any thoughts come to your mind that you need to release right here and right now, just let them go. Let them go. Let them go. And now with feeling lighter from the power of release that is ours at any time, anytime. Let the red, the vibrant red of the color of life just move through you. Feel it from top of your head all the way to your body. The power of red, red of life moving through you. And just say to yourself, I am life. And feel that wonderful life color of red throughout your body. And just like red can be a very strong and warm color, just know that just like that, you can amp up or ramp up that color and that power in your life at any time. Now I'll just ask for a moment that you just, in this sea of powers that you have, you just feel all those powers moving through you, activated, and know that at any time, whenever you need one or the other, you can bring them forward in your life. You have them. They're yours. And so as we start to become more aware of the sounds in the room, I ask that you bring yourself back to this room right here, right now. Know that your 12 powers are there and they've been warmed up a bit for you right here, right now. And you can walk lighter and more empowered from this day forward. We let it be so, and so it is. Now you might just want to stretch a little bit, move your fingers a little bit, maybe take a little sip of water or whatever you want to do right now. So, yeah. So I'd like to talk to you now about something you probably already know a lot about. And I'm just going to just kind of, from things that I talk about, maybe create little image. You will create little images in your mind, or you will just remember a lot of knowledge that you already know. And so when I touch in with you today, the title of my talk is Don't Groan Through Your Growth. Don't groan through your growth. And, you know, the other day I went to a coffee shop and I was getting a coffee to take out. And there was a sign there near a tip jar. And it said this: if you're afraid of change, leave it here. And I thought that was so hilarious, but it's so true, isn't it? Like if you're afraid of change, leave it here is what it said. But you know, so many times we're afraid of change, aren't we? And we resist it. But we are meant to change. We are meant to change. And our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, said, our purpose here is to regenerate. We are on a path where we are meant to constantly be changing and constantly be evolving. And in fact, to embrace change. That's what we're meant to be doing. And when we change, when we have those growth moments, it's important that we don't groan or grumble when they're happening. Because what happens when you do that? Well, first of all, not everybody wants to be around you. So you end up, you know, with not a lot of support sometimes, but also the energy that you're putting out, what are you attracting in? You know, so in Unity, we say, as within, so without. What you focus on expands. So we are meant to thrive in our growth, meant to thrive. But what happens sometimes, I don't know about you, but what happens for me sometimes is, you know, there's something that I'm working on, and I set the intention, and I say, this is what I want to work on. And it's growth moments that happen. And growth moments that occur can be things that are very subtle. They can be moments that are very brutal, and they can be moments that are wonderful, can't they? When we have those growth moments. So let me give you a few examples of what's happened to me for growth moments. So, for instance, they can be quite hilarious. In the book, Hell in the Hallway, Light at the Door by Reverend Ellen Davenport, which I recommend. It's a wonderful book. A growth moment that I picked out from there can be when you go to reach for that cookie, that extra cookie maybe, and you hear that voice that says, put down the cookie, sweetheart. That's a growth moment, isn't it? You know? And many of us have taken time to engage in a ritual or some kind of ceremony. And sometimes in these ceremonies, you get a card or something with a special word or a message on that for you. Has it ever happened to you? And then what happens is sometimes you get the card and you go, and you want to put it back. But that card is meant for you. So in one of these rituals, I got this stone, and the stone says detach. And when I got that stone, I'm like, I don't know if this is for me, right? So, but I took it. And then a few months later, then I remembered the detached stone. And when I was going through a situation, and that was a growth moment for me. And I thought, oh yeah, I got to detach from this. That's an awareness, and that's a growth moment, which was wonderful. So that happened a few years before. So I was moving some stuff in my house, and I uncovered the detached stone. I looked at the detached stone and I said to myself, oh yeah, the detached stone. What do I have to detach from? And then I got a message. So then I think to myself, okay, I got it. That's what I have to detach from. Okay. So those growth moments can come like that, and it's the same if you've read a book before and then all of a sudden you just drawn to that book and then you see something different in it. That can be, you can get information there that's a growth moment for you. The other day I was in a store, and I don't know about you, but I went to the store, and when I went in the store, they said, you have to use this cart. You have to have this cart when you go through the store. And I thought to myself, like, I really need this cart to remember to do social distancing. I thought that to myself. But I continued on in the store. A few minutes later, a lady came into the store and they told her the store rules. Well, she just said a few things to the clerk, and then she just came in and left and went. And then I could hear the clerks talking, and they said, you know what, with COVID, sometimes people are not at their best and it brings out the nastiness in people. And I thought, oh, okay, that's a growth moment for me, because I had thought it, but I didn't say it, you know? So I thought, okay, I got it, Spirit. That's a growth moment for me. You know, thanks for giving that to me, you know? But then I thanked myself because I hadn't spoken. So I patted myself on the back because I had, you know, that was a growth moment for me. Another growth moment that I had that was actually quite wonderful was a few years ago. I was on the board of an organization, and you know, many of you are probably in groups, or you help out at service organizations. So I was on the board, and as part of what we had to do, we had to go and help out for a pancake day. So they invited all these people to the pancake day, and some of them needed social assistance or whatever. And so they brought them, and we had to serve as volunteers. I, in my mind, thought I would be flipping pancakes. I thought I had this wonderful glory job in my mind about what I would be doing. Wrong. When I got there, I had to be cleaning tables. Cleaning tables all day. So here I am cleaning tables. I've got these rubber gloves on. I'm bleach everywhere. My hair is all askew, and I'm walking on concrete floor. So I had this thought in my mind: why am I here? Why am I doing this? Has that ever happened to you? You're helping out in some way, and maybe your family says to you, like, why are you doing this? Like, why? So half an hour later, I go to clear away stuff from a table, and there's a woman there with a little girl who's about 6 years old, and I'm dumping stuff in the trash, and all of a sudden I hear this little girl's voice. You know, this is the best day ever. Whoa. For me to hear her say that this was the best day ever, and I was a part of that, you know? So I got the message, the growth message for me, that I was meant to be doing this work. And so, you know, like I say, growth moments can happen. They can be very subtle, like reading something in a book, a stone, or a card you get. They can be brutal, and we've all had them. You know, we've asked for growth moments, and then suddenly we get them and we go, oh, okay, it's not what we figured it would be, but then we asked for it, so we got it. So we have to work through that. And then they can be wonderful moments. But when you have those trying growth moments, it's important not to groan through your growth. Take a step back and just have a higher view on what's happening here, and try to figure out for yourself why this is happening. Like, why? How did I show up, for instance, or why am I getting this growth moment here? And a lot of times you can figure it out, but sometimes what you have to do is kind of like put it on a shelf, because sometimes all will be revealed down the road, won't it? You know, you'll think back, oh yeah, that's why I had that moment, that growth moment, you know. So one scripture verse that I just especially love is Romans 12:2. And maybe many of you are familiar with that. And it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We can change. We can reframe a situation. We are meant to constantly be evolving. And a lot of that is our mindset that we carry with us. So one of my favorite places that I like to look for helpful information is Psychology Today. And in Psychology Today, there was a wonderful article, and it was by Cheeky Davis. And it's all about growth mindset and how to cultivate a growth mindset. Now, as compared to a fixed mindset, and a fixed mindset is, well, what's the use? A fixed mindset, people don't take risks, or when something happens, they blame others. So that's kind of the mindset that we don't want to have, as compared to a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is you're willing to take risks. You're willing to try new things. You're willing to accept feedback. That's what a growth mindset is. And you know that sometimes what you have to do is you have to put the work in when you're going to grow. That's what a growth mindset is. So Cheeky Davis has 15 ways to develop a growth mindset. And I'm just going to touch on a few of them. But if you were to Google growth mindset, you would find 9 ways, 25 ways, all kinds of ways to cultivate a growth mindset. So I would challenge you to go and look for ways to develop a growth mindset, because our Unity co-founders, Charles and Myrtle, really advocated for that we really continually grow. So the first thing that she talks about is to face your challenges bravely, which is not easy sometimes. Face your challenges bravely. Charles Fillmore said, fear is an illusion. Fear is not real. So many times when I've been afraid to do something, I've faced the fear and done it anyways. And I'm sure many of you have. But sometimes we need to prepare ourselves a little more before we go into a situation, because we need to be better equipped and we have that knowledge of ourselves. So for a growth mindset, you need to face your challenges bravely. And when challenges come, and they may, know that challenges are part of your personal growth, instead of groaning that there's a challenge in your path. I mean, challenges are there, and challenges come to help us along the way. Life is not meant to be an easy ride. We are meant to, tackle those challenges, learn more about ourselves and others, and move on. So face your challenges bravely is the first part of cultivating a growth mindset. The next one is pay attention to your words and your thoughts. And this is what I am so passionate about, being aware of our thoughts and our words, because words have energy. And in the book Self-Compassion by Kristin Neff, which is another really good book, she talks about the proven power of being kind to yourself. And in the book, it talks about that we are often our harshest critic, aren't we? Like sometimes we can be quite brutal with ourselves. But in the book Self-Compassion by Kristin Neff, there are a lot of exercises that we can do to be more self-compassionate to ourselves, and we are meant to do that. So words and thoughts really matter, and we need to be aware of the thoughts that we have. One of my friends mentions a friend of hers who, for 1 year, he wrote down every single worry that he had. Every worry, because he wanted to keep track of how much he worries. Can you imagine that? Taking on that challenge, writing something down for every time. And what he found was that, and it was a pretty big volume at the end, but what he found was that at the end of the year that only 2 of his worries were actually real. 2. And you know, they say what worry is. Worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. You go like heck and you go nowhere. That's what worry is. So that's what I try and think of it sometimes when I think, should I worry about this? And I think, no. So write it down and you will be surprised at the thoughts that you have. So words matter for yourself, but also words really matter that you use around other people. You never know what somebody is going through. And, you know, sometimes I've been surprised. I have a certain perception of somebody. And then when I find out later, my perception of the person was completely wrong. Completely wrong. Like I was in a restaurant one time and I was talking, that's a while back, I was in the restaurant and I had a waiter who came and served me, didn't speak to me at all, didn't speak to me at all. And I was trying to engage with him. Wouldn't speak to me. And I thought, that's odd, he's not speaking. Few tables over, some regular customers were there and they were talking to him. And it became clear that he had a severe speech impediment. But they were used to him and he felt accepted by them. So what would I have perceived? My perception was wrong. And if I had said any negative words, not that I would, but those words could make a difference in his life. So the words that we use with other people have power. So it's important that we choose our words wisely. The next tip that she gives on having a growth mindset is to take risks in the company of others. Take risks in the company of others. And I know that this is a very supportive community right here, that we could take risks with each other and we could support each other as we take risks. When COVID first happened for me, I decided that I was going to develop more of my creative side. Has that ever happened to you? So I started doing more creative things. And yes, that was a bit risky for me. And I started working through, you know, books on being more creative, Big Magic, all those kinds of books. And I took a picture of a squirrel against a scenic background. And then I saw there was a small competition, photo contest. And they wanted, you know, people to put their photos forward. And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I got third prize. Third prize. And I thought, that's so cool. And so that was like the universe saying to me, you know, good on you, lady, you know, expanding your creative side. And so since then, I've been taking a lot of pictures just with my phone, and that's okay, that's me, but I'm letting that creative side out and taking more risks. So what do I want to mention here? There will be people among us who are taking risks also. And it is important for us as spiritual beings to support them. Not be judgmental, not to, you know, when they ask us for support, it's important to be very, very kind in our support that we give people, because as people that are growing, they're going to take risks, and it's important for us to remember that and to support them. Very, very important. There will be people around us who are going through their own growth, and sometimes that growth can be very challenging for them. It's important to remember when they come to us to let them talk it out. and not utilize spiritual bypass. Not say to them, well, you know, just pray about it. In my opinion, yeah, praying is important. But what I would suggest is sometimes when somebody comes to you and they're going through a challenge, is just to say, I'm just wondering, you know, I hear you're going through a tough time. Is this do you think this might be a growth moment for you? Now you have to put it in the right way, the right time. You have to know, you know, when the right time is. But sometimes using that Socratic method with people, just saying, is this a growth moment for you? I'm just wondering. And sometimes then they'll say yes or no, and you're planting the seeds. And when you plant seeds, what happens? They might grow right then and there, but they might grow in the future. So I think that for me, that's a nice, kinder way to be with people going through growth challenges, rather than saying to them something like, do you hear what you're saying? Can't you say something positive? Because that comes from kind of a judgmental kind of way. And, you know, we got to watch our words when we do that, instead of, I hear you're going through a tough time, but, you know, and support them. But also maybe this is, you know, I'm just wondering if maybe this is a growth moment for you. So just when the time is right, you might want to say that with them. So as I finish up, I just want to say, if you remember nothing else from here, remember this. There will be many times in your life when you're on the path that we're all meant to be, where you will have growth moments, and we are meant to experience them. Some will be small, some will be major, but also to step back and examine them and say, okay, so this is a time for me to grow a little bit. Or we get a message, like with the detached stone. So we ask ourselves, what is my growth moment here? And then just listen to your inner guidance. Because we're all on the path together. And each of us is on a journey of discovering who and what we are. And as we do that, we are meant to thrive and grow. So don't groan through your growth. And I'll leave you with that. Blessings to you all.
Thank you.